We're joined by Senior Coach Zane Littlejohn after today's pretty impressive win over North Melbourne at Arden Street. What are your top-line thoughts out of today's effort?
Yeah, well, I spoke to the boys at three-quarter time. The game wasn't looking how we wanted it to look, and we just spoke about, firstly, as a coaching group, not to throw the baby out with the bathwater, and I guess make sure we were really professional in our performance in the last quarter, and ultimately we were able to do that. And to kick 10 goals in the last quarter is pretty pleasing. So we're wrapped. The game at stages didn't look exactly how we wanted it to, but the mentality of the group to stay really positive and continue to try and find ways to get it back on our terms was really pleasing. And ultimately, the last quarter they got rewarded.
You had a couple of challenges throughout the course of the day, knowing full well ahead of time that Mitch Lewis would only play a managed block. A few little boys went down with some niggles throughout the game, which complicated things. How pleased were you that the group as a whole was able to overcome that?
Yeah, again, it comes back to their mentality to stay focused about what their role is, and I guess the role that they play amongst our group. And a few things went against us. We obviously knew Mitch was coming off at three-quarter time, and wasn't it great to see him return and kick 2 goals, and that first goal when it went through for him, to see the whole group get around him and the excitement. It's just great reward for who is a young man who's hasn't had it all his own way with some injuries, unfortunately, but to rehab and get back and play some footy was really exciting. And then others stepped up when they needed to, which is really pleasing, and just shows, I guess, the depth that we've got in our group at the moment.
The last quarter, we've got to touch on that. You sort of spoke about what happened out of three-quarter time, but I asked you on the podcast a couple of weeks ago, what's the number you focus on more, wins or losses? What's the number you focus on more out of that last quarter? The score we were able to run up, or how defensively good we were?
It's great. It's a great point, mate. I spoke to the group after the game, and the beauty was, yes, we kicked 10-1, I think it was, in the last quarter, 22 inside 50s or whatever, but it was all off the back of our pressure, the way we defended the ground. Although our tackles aren't overly high, and at VFL level we don't have pressure factor, but it's something that we know at AFL level, when Hawthorn's pressure is really high, and we're similar here at Box Hill, when our pressure is really high, naturally the game looks how we want it to look. And I asked the boys at obviously three-quarter time, as I mentioned, to be really professional in that area and bring pressure, and they were able to do that, and then ultimately they got rewarded off the back of that. So the offense looks good, but as a coach with the coach's eye, I sit back and look at our pressure, and that was definitely what turned the game for us.
Something you did speak about during the course of the day was our record coming off the bye is a little bit sketchy.
Yeah.
Is that something that came into your thoughts or your planning process throughout the course of the week and the way the game unfolded?
Yeah, it is. I think last year we were terrible off the bye, and something that one at Hawthorn, Peter Burge, our high performance manager there, and then Matty Ross here at Box Hill at the VFL level, have done a great job of making sure our group was prepared. We saw a few boys cramping obviously off a week off and the intensity lifting. So we planned really well, and we just wanted to really shift our mentality about how we approach the bye first and foremost, and then secondly how we come out of the bye. And I thought we saw that today, which is great.
Very well said. Congrats on the win. We'll go again next week.
Awesome. Thanks, mate.